Did you know that the golden age of piracy might not have ended in the 18th century as we've been led to believe? Could modern pirates be secretly ruling our world today? Let's set sail on a journey into the past, to a time when pirates ruled the high seas. Picture it, the age of exploration and conquest, when the world was a vast, mysterious place, and the promise of untold wealth lay beyond the horizon. This was the golden age of piracy, a period that spanned the late 17th to early 18th century. It was a time when audacious pirates like Blackbeard and William Kidd became legends, their names synonymous with adventure, rebellion, and lawlessness. But what if I told you that this era might not have ended when we think it did? What if the pirates didn't just vanish into the pages of history, their time of power and influence over? The official narrative tells us that the golden age of piracy ended in the 18th century as nations strengthened their navies and established laws to combat piracy. But what if that's just what they want us to believe? Consider this. Pirates were not just reckless outlaws. They were cunning, strategic thinkers who knew how to navigate the complex political and economic landscapes of their time. They formed alliances, established their own codes of conduct, and even set up their own democracies. They were in many ways ahead of their time. So is it really so far-fetched to think that they could have found a way to continue their operations, albeit in a more covert manner? Could they have evolved, adapted, and infiltrated the very structures of power they once openly defied? In this light, the idea of a secret society of pirates influencing global events doesn't seem quite so outlandish, does it? Could the unseen hand guiding our world today belong, not to shadowy government agencies or powerful corporations, but to a clandestine brotherhood of pirates? So, if the pirates didn't disappear, where are they now? Let's delve deeper into this intriguing conspiracy as we chart a course into uncharted territories of history and mystery. Can a centuries-old pirate code be the key to understanding the power dynamics of today's world? Let's dive into the murky depths of history and explore this intriguing notion. The pirate code, or the Articles of Agreement as it was often called, was more than just a set of rules for marauders of the high seas. It was a democratic blueprint, a social contract if you will, that governed the conduct of pirates aboard a ship. This may come as a surprise, but pirate societies were some of the first to practice democracy. Each man had a vote in affairs of moment. They chose their captains and quartermasters, and could depose them if they saw fit. Consider the case of the infamous pirate, Black Bart Roberts. His crew lived and operated under a strict code of conduct that included fair division of plunder, compensation for injuries, and even a form of social security. This was in stark contrast to the oppressive conditions faced by ordinary seamen in the Royal Navy at the time. But how does this connect to our modern world, you might ask? Well, here's where it gets interesting. The democratic principles practiced by these pirate societies bear an uncanny resemblance to those that underpin our governments today. The idea of a social contract, the core of modern political theory, was being practiced in pirate societies long before it was popularized by philosophers like Thomas Hobbes and John Locke. This begs the question, could the principles of the pirate code have influenced the development of modern democracy? Could the descendants of these pirates be in positions of power today, subtly guiding our societies using the same principles that governed their ancestors? Perhaps it's not a coincidence that the skull and crossbones, the universal symbol of piracy, is found in many powerful institutions across the world. From military insignias to secret societies, this enduring symbol of rebellion and freedom seems to have infiltrated our modern world. Could the pirates have infiltrated our governments and institutions, guiding them with the same principles of their ancient code? A tantalizing thought, isn't it? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the symbols of piracy in our next segment. Have you ever wondered why the skull and crossbones is a universal symbol of danger? Could it be a sign of pirate influence that we've overlooked? This scene delves into the intriguing world of pirate symbolism, and there's no symbol more iconic than the skull and crossbones. A stark monochromatic emblem, it's a universal sign of danger, warning, and death. But did you know it is also a symbol steeped in pirate lore? The skull and crossbones, known as the Jolly Roger, was a flag flown to identify a pirate ship about to attack. The image was chosen to instill fear, to signal danger and imminent death, and it worked. But the use of this symbol wasn't just about fear. It was also about camaraderie, a shared identity among pirates. Over time, the skull and crossbones transcended its pirate origins. Today, it's everywhere. We see it on hazardous material warnings, poison labels, and even in popular culture. It's become a shorthand for danger and death, but its pirate roots are still discernible. So, how did this transition happen? How did a symbol of piracy become a universal sign of danger? The answer lies in the very essence of piracy. Pirates were seen as dangerous, lawless, and deadly. Their symbol, the skull and crossbones, encapsulated these traits. So, when society needed a symbol to represent danger, it was only natural to adopt the Jolly Roger. But there's more to this story. Some suggest that the prevalence of this symbol is not accidental. They speculate that it's a subtle sign of continuing pirate influence, a secret code hidden in plain sight. Could it be that the pirates of old have evolved, their influence seeping into the fabric of our society in ways we've yet to fully understand? The skull and crossbones, a symbol of death, danger, and pirates, is all around us. Coincidence? Or could it be a subtle nod to a shadowy pirate influence that still lingers? Either way, the next time you see this iconic symbol, remember its roots and ponder its meaning. Perhaps in doing so, you'll uncover a piece of the pirate conspiracy for yourself. Are the world's wealthiest and most influential people, in reality, modern-day pirates? Let's explore this intriguing thought. The pirates of old are typically imagined as ruthless outlaws, sailing the high seas, looting ships, and burying treasures. But what if they didn't fade into history, as we've been led to believe? What if they just adapted, trading their ships for skyscrapers, their cutlasses for corporate power? Consider the wealthiest individuals and corporations of today. They command vast fortunes, often stashed away in offshore accounts or invested in high-risk ventures. They navigate the complex currents of global finance with ease, exploiting loopholes and bending rules to their advantage. Take, for instance, the tech moguls of Silicon Valley. Their wealth is staggering, their influence far-reaching. They've been accused of data piracy, of stealing personal information and using it for profit. Is this not a modern form of piracy? A digital raiding of personal treasures? Then there are the multinational corporations, the giants that stride across the global stage, their reach extending to every corner of the globe. They plunder resources from developing nations, often leaving environmental devastation in their wake. They exploit local labor, paying minimal wages for maximum profit. This form of economic piracy has profound impacts on societies and ecosystems alike. But perhaps the most striking parallel lies in the realm of finance. The shadowy world of offshore banking, tax havens, and shell companies is rife with the spirit of piracy. Here, vast sums of money are moved, hidden, and hoarded, often with little regard for legal or ethical considerations. So we must ask ourselves, is the pirate spirit truly a relic of the past? Or has it merely evolved, finding new ways to amass wealth and power in our interconnected digital age? Could it be that the pirates, instead of disappearing, have just adapted to the modern world, continuing their legacy of wealth and power? This notion may seem far-fetched, but the parallels are certainly intriguing. These are the pirates of today, invisible, influential, and immensely powerful. So, is the world as we know it a grand pirate conspiracy? Let's take a moment to ponder. We've journeyed through the hidden realms of unseen pirates, deciphered the pirate code, unveiled the symbols of piracy embedded in our world, and questioned the existence of pirates in our current society. It's been quite the voyage, hasn't it? Now let's cast our eyes upon the larger picture. Could it be that these elusive corsairs have been pulling the strings, manipulating the tides of history from their shadowy corners? The idea may seem far-fetched, but remember, the best place to hide a secret is in plain sight. Picture, if you will, a clandestine society of pirates, a fraternity operating beyond the confines of law and order, influencing global events, shaping the world as we know it. The pirate code, once thought to be mere law of the high seas, might not be a relic of the past, but a living, breathing doctrine guiding the actions of this secretive brotherhood. The symbols of piracy, ever present in our culture, may act as the invisible threads connecting this hidden order with the world at large. The skull and crossbones, the Jolly Roger, these aren't mere pop culture icons. They could be signposts pointing towards a deeper, darker truth. And what about the elites of today? Could there be a connection between them and this clandestine fraternity? A lineage traced back to the golden age of piracy, a legacy carried forward in secrecy. Could our world leaders, business tycoons and influencers be the modern heirs of this pirate legacy? The questions are as tantalizing as they are chilling. Remember, the world isn't always what it seems. Keep an open mind and question everything. And if you enjoyed this journey into the pirate conspiracy theory, please subscribe for more thought-provoking content.